Rolling up this driveway, you might be thinking, why would anyone rent a house in a virtual world? Oh, honey, let me tell you. It's not just about the fancy digs. It's about creating your own escape, your rules, your vibe. Whether it's a grand chateau or just a single prim with a door, a home in Second Life is about making it yours. The other day, someone dropped a question that stopped me mid-teleport. What's the point of renting or having a house in Second Life anyway? Let me spill the virtual tea. For us seasoned Second Life veterans, having a home is less about the four walls and more about having a little slice of the grid to call our own. It's where we res our chaos, crash in style, and occasionally pretend we're living that organized inventory life. But for those wondering why bother when you've got endless Sims to explore and clubs to crash, a home in Second Life is an experience, not just a space. If you're new to Second Life or just thinking about joining, you might be scratching your head, wondering, why would anyone rent a house in a virtual world? It sounds a bit out there, right? But there's more to it than meets the eye. And I'm here to spill all the tea on why it's actually pretty genius. First off, let's talk creativity. A home in Second Life is like a giant playground for your imagination. You're not just renting walls and a roof, you're renting a blank canvas. Want a sleek penthouse in the clouds? Done. A cozy cabin by a lake? Easy. A spaceship with a disco ball? Why not? It's your world, and you can make it as fabulous or as funky as you like. Now, privacy. You're trying to sort out your inventory, experiment with new outfits, or just take 5 minutes to chill without someone popping into your personal space yelling, "Hi, wanna chat?" A home in Second Life is your bubble, your fortress of solitude. No interruptions, no drama, just peace and quiet. Well, almost. You can still have the occasional troll, or someone you forgot to remove from your security orb. Speaking of drama, socializing in Second Life can be a mixed bag, but having your own place means you get to set the rules. Invite your friends over for a private party, host a movie night, or just hang out and catch up. All without random gate crashers sitting on your furniture uninvited. Trust me, it's a vibe. So, how do you deal with gate crashers or uninvited guests? Just like in real life, where you wouldn't let random strangers waltz into your home, SL has its own rules for keeping things private. Unless you've handed out the virtual keys, no one's barging into your space. Well, in theory. Most people will politely knock, or IM, before stepping in. Then, of course, there are the privacy-blind party crashers who stroll in like they own the place. But let's not waste pixels talking about them, shall we? How does privacy work in Second Life? If your parcel's privacy settings are configured properly, it's like drawing the curtains on your space. No one outside your parcel can see what's happening inside, and vice versa. You won't see any avatars beyond your boundaries either. That said, you might still spot furniture or decor moving around if someone nearby is redecorating, but their avatar will stay invisible. For extra security, you can set up a system to kick out any uninvited guests who wander in. Privacy? Handled with style. To be fair, when I'm home with my partner, the last thing I want is someone randomly teleporting in while we're busy with some private activities. Big no-no. And don't even get me started on the people who log off in your home only to pop back in unannounced later. Or those sneaky ones who save the landmark to your place, like it's some kind of free Airbnb. Respect the space, people. It's called Home Sweet Home, not Community Hangout Central. Then you have the builders, the dreamers, and the DIY enthusiasts. If you're into creating stuff in SL, renting a space gives you the freedom to work on your projects without that annoying auto-return feature kicking your builds back into inventory. Whether it's a piece of art, a new outfit, or an entire fantasy realm, your rented parcel is your workshop. One comment really struck a chord with me. I have never owned a home in real life, and probably never will. So I own one in Second Life. To me, that's what Second Life is for. Being able to do things you'd never be able to do in real life. Honestly, I totally get that. The other day, I stumbled upon a YouTube video titled, "Why Life in Australia Has Become Impossible." And it broke down why the so-called Australian dream is slipping through so many fingers. It explained how the idea of buying a house young, building wealth over time, and living the good life made Aussies the fourth richest people in the world. But the housing market is out of control. The median house price has skyrocketed from under $500,000 in 2011 to nearly $1 million in 2024, while wages have barely budged. Even my daughter, who was lucky enough to buy her home before this madness, could sell it for double or more now, but with today's prices, that money wouldn't get her far. And let's not even get started on renting. It's a whole circus here in Australia. You're lucky if your lease gets renewed after a year. Meanwhile, in places like France, you can rent for life. Some rentals are even passed down like heirlooms. Here, it's more like, surprise. The owner's moving back in, so pack your bags. This has happened to us so many times, it's honestly ridiculous. The reality for many of us is that owning a home in real life is becoming a distant dream. With the cost of housing skyrocketing and wages failing to keep pace, buying a home feels out of reach for so many people. Renting might be the only option, but it comes with its own frustrations. From quarterly inspections to asking for permission to make even minor changes, it doesn't feel like your space. There's always that looming reminder that it's someone else's property, not truly your home. And even if you manage to buy a home, how likely is it that you'll ever own a second home like a villa in Saint-Tropez, a penthouse in New York, or a chalet in the Alps? Second Life gives you that freedom. Sure, it's fantasy, but it's a fantasy you can live in, design, and control. Unlike other games that offer dream living, Second Life makes it feel personal and real. It's not just a backdrop, it's a space you create where you call the shots. For me, that's what makes it so special. Our main home is on the ground, perched by the sea, with a stunning pool that's perfect for those chill vibes. It's surrounded by trees and the sound of birds singing, and the Sims forest setup makes for dreamy walks. Then there's our skybox, aka our penthouse, where we swap the countryside for a city skyline. It's our go-to when we're craving a change of scenery. And last but not least, we have our winter home, which gets the spotlight every Christmas. I mean, I live in a place where Santa's sweating it out on the beach, and honestly, that doesn't do it for me. But hanging out in our snowy winter retreat, watching the snow fall, or going ice skating, that's pure magic. Oh, and let's not forget my Mediterranean linden home, though. Full disclosure, we haven't moved in yet. It's on the to-do list. And as I mentioned before, I love my privacy. Some nights, I'm deep in my inventory, trying on outfits, rezzing things to sort through the chaos. I can do all of that in the comfort of our own parcel. Sure, you could do it in a sandbox, but sandboxes feel so impersonal. I'd rather be surrounded by the coziness of my own space. It's a little slice of SL heaven rather than just a house. If you're on Second Life just to socialize and you've already found your favorite spots to hang out, then owning a house might not make sense for you, and that's totally fine. After all, having a house in SL isn't free. Sure, you can get a Linden home or a parcel on the mainland, but you're still paying for a premium membership to unlock that perk. Beyond that, if you're renting privately or need more land than your membership allows, you're looking at extra costs for rent or tier fees. Prices to have a space in Second Life vary wildly. There's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to housing. You could rent an entire sim, a cozy parcel, a fully furnished home, a single room, or even a berth if you dream of living on a yacht. Whether you prefer the serenity of a waterfront dock or the adventure of sailing the open seas, the cost depends on what you're looking for and where you want to live. Shopping around is essential to find the best deal, and if the price feels steep, you can always split the cost with a partner or a bestie. Whether you're after a luxury mansion or a simple space to call home, there's something for everyone. You just need to explore your options. But the truth is, plenty of Second Life residents don't have houses, and that's perfectly fine. On my own Sims, I've seen many people who use the landing zone as their home base when they log in. It works for them, and that's what matters. Second Life isn't about ticking boxes or fitting into some virtual homeowner ideal. It's about exploring, socializing, and creating experiences that suit you. Whether you choose to rent a lavish chateau, set up a modest skybox, or just enjoy the freedom of hopping from sim to sim, it's all valid. Having a house in Second Life isn't a requirement, and it certainly doesn't define your value as a resident. What matters is that you're using the grid in a way that brings you joy, because at the end of the day, that's what Second Life is all about, making it your own. But if you want to create your own private place to hang out with your friends, or you enjoy the design, building, decorating aspect of the platform, then having your own space is very satisfying. And if you're the creative or business-oriented type, the Second Life real estate market offers plenty of side hustle opportunities. Interior design and landscaping are big here. Yes, people will pay to have their virtual homes decorated and landscapes designed. Trust me, I've hired pros many times because I'm hopeless at landscaping, and decorating can be overwhelming or just time-consuming. Interior designers have an incredible eye for detail, coming up with ideas you'd never think of. It's not just a service, it's an art form in Second Life. So, what about you? Are you new to Second Life and thinking about claiming your first little slice of paradise? Or are you a seasoned resident with a home, or 3, already decked out? Maybe you're one of those free spirits who skips the whole housing thing entirely. Whatever your story, I want to hear it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know how you're making Second Life your own. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stay tuned for all the Second Life tips, tricks, and chaos you didn't know you needed. This is Priska Newall from Second Life Spectrum, signing off. Now go claim or celebrate your pixel paradise and live your best virtual life in style.